I dream of houses all the time.
I dream of houses all the time. In one, I'm in a construction site. I look like myself, but a bit taller with longer hair. There are fumes I need to rush through in order to survive. My mouth is loaded with bubblegum, so I can't speak. I wander from room to room, neatening things for the builders. There's no sign anyone has or will come. It's haunted by the house that will stand there in the future.
Last night, I had a wild utopia dream of that old longed-for house. The walls were brightly painted, glossy and sculptural, and there were extra floors, minimalist kitchens, artistic contemplation nooks, plus communal permaculture gardens, art galleries, meeting spaces, an activism and community hub with work rosters and action plans. Yet still, with the shadow of a reoccurring dream I had for years about a body in a newly made bed in our dusty veranda room full of junk where no one ever went. I sat with that body many times until it disappeared. The need for it must have thinned.
Last night's party dream had more people than usual. Nobody in control, like the first university party I went to, where I ate LSD and tried to jump out of a 5th floor window. Just down the street from where my father taught accounting until they found the bottle in his drawer. He comes to me in dreams, reminding me of practical things like IRS deadlines and oil checks.
I often dream of our family's corner block looming up. My parents always there in the guts of it. The structure profoundly solid with the weight and pull of a place that captured the mould of me. My mother is wedged between leafing through Woman's Weekly for Pavlova recipe and daytime TV. My father's in his garage-sized shed creating inventions that link a problem to its hinge and bolt solution. In one dream, I go in and sit on my bed with the same pink bedspread. But people there tell me it's not my bed. Indignant, I say, I'll speak to the landlord, but then I remember my parents sold the house years ago. I leave quietly, too ashamed to admit I shouldn't have been there, and go to my grandparents' house, but it's made of battered paper mache. I pledge to do anything, sell everything I own to repair it.
At about 17, I went on a long country bike ride by myself. When I got home, the telephone rang. It was a man saying, "Hi, Jocelyn. How was your trip? Must have been a hot one." My instinct wasn't to hang up or check the locks or phone my folks at work. I got back on the bike and rode away again. I've never understood the expression safe as houses.
I had a dream of picking up the phone to hear I'd won a house, a ticket to security for life, but it was in another country and came with caveats. I couldn't even recall how I'd entered the prize. I tried calling you.
I pedaled away with a fury, thinking he knew when to call. This man must have watched me bike past, and he knew when I'd open the door. If a good friend had lived nearby, I might have called them instead.
At times, I wait by the phone paralyzed. I want to tell someone everything. I once biked from school to the house of my first grade crush and felt like an idiot when he said, "What are you doing here?" The pine cone I threw got him in the eye.
That's when everything changed. I started wearing a bandana on my head. I stopped bleaching my little mustache. I made fun of the girls who watched General Hospital. I lost my virginity. I found a part of me that yelled, repel.
Sometimes I wake in the night and the moon is a hot ball of summer. I go through all of my cupboards and drawers looking for something I've lost.
Was that when I began to lie about love? Did I lie when I told you about myself just now? And what would it matter anyway?
I want to show you the drawer full of my 6-year-old dolls, limbs, handmade clothing. Mary has a missing leg, drawn on brows, and gappy eyelashes.
My dressy Bessie had a flat, floppy body, drawn on undies and a lace-up vest.
She was light and hollow. Her mouth was pursed as if she was about to speak.
She always seemed happy to be unbuttoned, always up for it.
Never frowning, always good.
And yet undressing in my house was such a secretive act.
Is it safe to be a heavy, slippery, naked body?
Is it really safe?
My voice is sometimes too tiny or screaming too quietly, my throat burning.
Even in a
But
house.
I hear you.
I hear you.
Little girls far away playing with dolls.
Playing house.
Playing house.